VCF Midwest may be over for this year, but I saw a lot of cool stuff, met a fantastic amount of awesome people, and as you can see right here, picked up quite a few things as well. Not as many as last year, but quite a few things. So why don't we go over the event a little bit, talk about some of the people I met and some of the other videos you should definitely check out, and then go through what I picked up. Some, I'm hoping gems are here, but let's find out. Welcome back to Rick's Random Retro, where we call it preservation or treasure hunting, not hoarding. First off, I shot virtually no video for this event as I was honestly trying to enjoy and experience it myself this time. I may have some regrets about that, but here we are, and I did take quite a few pictures though, so we'll cycle through a few of them. First off, for those not familiar with VCF, Midwest is a yearly event that takes place in Elmhurst, Illinois, which is just outside Chicago. It basically is a huge celebration of vintage computing in its many, many shapes and sizes. This was my second year going, and while I flew last year, this time I drove, and brought with me things to get rid of as well to give to friends. The car was quite full, but it gave me a lot more flexibility for what I could get as well. As for the event itself, I don't know that much can prepare you for the sheer size and intensity that it now brings. We have several large rooms jam-packed with vintage gear, retro tech, and awesome people. You'll see computers that may be as well known as their owners, such as LGR and Computer Clients display setups here. There's vintage Macs, Forbidden Fruit sharp machines, Silicon Graphics workstations, entire displays dedicated to keeping the spirit of OS2 alive, and so much more. So much more. Like the awesome YouTuber panel among many others. Honestly, this just scratches the surface, and other creators have done a great job fully documenting the experience. I'll link several of them below, so make sure to check them out for a proper video tour. And hey, maybe next year I'll actually get myself into gear and do the same. But for now, let's take a look at all the things I picked up during the event. Alright, we have the table ready and a lot of stuff to go through, so let's hop right to it. First off, let's go through some of the big box games, and a few that I wasn't expecting to pick up, but here we are. First off is Machiavelli the Prince, gifted to me by Tom, actually. Very generous, thank you very much, Tom. And he gave me a few of these games that you'll see here now too. This one is one of those I remember a lot reading about, and people were like talking about a lot, but I don't think I ever played it, so look for a future live stream on that one. We'll start a stash of big box games over here. Got a few of those. And we have, let's see what's next. Let's go with another one that I got from Tom here, which is incredibly generous. This is a sealed copy of Inca on multimedia CD, and Inca has this weird like hybrid adventure action point and click game. It's very bizarre. I do have the floppy version, but this is the CD version as well, in really good condition, so thanks again, Tom, for that. Put it on the stash. And next, let's go to the ones that I'd actually bought or picked up myself here. So here's Earth Siege, a very classic, mech fighting game. I have, a couple of the MechWarrior games. I don't have any of the Earth Siege games. I saw this. This was a great one to have. Yeah, look forward to stream on that one too. It's like, it feels like for a while there was a kind of a camp between Earth Siege and MechWarrior. I think MechWarrior probably came through in the end with more games compared to Earth Siege, which spawned the Star Siege and all those games as well. So it's a cool one to have. Put that on the stash. Another one that I picked up is KKND. I kind of been on a real-time strategy game kick for a while now, and just kind of want to start collecting. This opens up, yeah. Kind of want to start collecting some of the RTS games from this era. I don't know. The mid to late 90s was just ripe with all these RTS games, and it kind of looks like Command & Conquer if you look at it. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. I saw it in magazines a lot, but I never actually played it, so I'm excited to mess with that one. Put that on the stash over there. Next one that I definitely was excited to pick up is Total Annihilation. It's hard for me to say. Total Annihilation Battle Tactics. This is the second expansion pack for the original Total Annihilation game. The first one being the Core Contingency, which is a really good expansion. This was the harder to find, so finding it there at the event was really cool, so I nabbed that right away. That's a cool thing. Sometimes you just walk around at this event and just like, oh hey, there's that thing I've been after, just sitting right there for a few bucks, or a little more than a few bucks. So this is a great addition, meaning I've kind of completed out my Total Annihilation box sets there, at least for the ones I want now. So I'm really happy about that one. This is just a whole bunch of extra units and extra maps and stuff. Not quite as exciting. I think it's the first expansion pack, which added a boatload of new stuff, but still a cool expansion. Next one, we go to what was on the free table. And the free table, for those not aware, is just the random things people drop there. And they're free. You pick it up and drop something, pick something up, whatever. And on that table was a box copy of Mark's Up Publisher CD Deluxe for Windows 95. And I love the mid-90s design of these boxes. They're just amazing. The Windows 95 era box with the clouds and everything. Will I use this? I'm not sure, but it looks great on the shelf. I'm a big sucker for the software stuff, productivity software from this era. So that is a nice addition. It's a hefty box too. The box is a little squished, but hey, it was free. Another one that was not quite free was this copy of Mark's Up Works. A box copy of Mark's Up Works. I don't think I've ever seen one before this. It was $5. You can tell only $5 there. I'll see if the sticker comes off here. And it's in rough-ish shape, but it's a box version of freaking Works. Works. Like, this is a cool edition too. This came preloaded on my 46 Compact when I was younger, but this one is the 3.5 inch floppy disk, and it has a coupon for $5.25. I don't know how many floppies are in here, but it's a very hefty box. But that's a neat one to have in the collection, because I mean, again, I love the business software or any productivity software stuff from this era, so that is a neat one to have. All right, let's go to some of the components that I picked up, and we will start with this, which is a Matrox AGP video card, as you can tell. This is a G4 Plus, so this is like a G400. Nothing super exciting, it's not a top of the line, but it's a dual head, which I see some opportunity for stuff there. Matrox, of course, was king of the hill when it came to video quality, and they had phenomenal VGA or analog output, so that's where the strength of these cards. This is a capable acceleration card, but probably not top of the line. There's the Max version that was faster, which is more compatible to the other cards of the era, like the Voodoo 3. But it's still a neat card to have, and it was just a few bucks, so I had to nab that. I'll start up a pile here of cards. Next, something I was on the hunt for specifically was sound cards. ISA and PCI sound cards are always one of those, like, you need it, and then you need it, and you don't have it. So I grabbed a few of these, and here's one that is basically an Oriole Vortex 1. This is a later model. I think it's an 8810 or something like that. I'll put a close-up with the model number and everything on here as well. And the Oriole Vortex is kind of like this, quote-unquote legendary card, right? It's an alternative to the Cellmaster Live. Great Oriole 3D positioning. This is a great card for a Windows 98 machine, and that's pretty much where it will go eventually. So, as you can tell, it's kind of like this swoopy line, which is neat, but it is definitely one of the later versions of this before they went to the Oriole Vortex 2, I'm pretty sure. So, that is a neat card to have. I'm going to reach over all the way over here. I should have planned this layout better, but here we are. This is a Yamaha XG sound card, a YMF724V, and this is an interesting card. I've never really messed with these Yamaha cards. As I understand it, and someone feel free to fill in the blank for me here, you can actually target the synth or the FM audio to the XG component chip, and then you get a special kind of general MIDI that basically, emulates, or not emulates, but it actually is a full instruction set for MIDI music. So you get a unique sound, so I'm looking forward to using this card. I think I know exactly what machine this is going to go in as well. And that's the kind of thing I was looking for. Like, I needed these things, so keeping an eye on them. I didn't just buy everything this time, I swear. But things like this will come very much in handy for me. So, this is the PCI sound card. Nothing exciting in that, that regard. But here we have the uniqueness of the XG, and I think it's a genuine one. There's a lot of clone ones that were not very good, but this one is a genuine card as far as I can tell. This will definitely find a home in a computer. And this is an ISA sound card, which of course you want to grab a few of those when you find them too. And I'm not entirely sure what this exactly is, but it intrigued me. So it's an Ovation Wave 32X, or 32X 2.0. Based on the label back here, it says Advanced MOS Technology. I'm not sure it's the MOS technology. Model Add Wave 32. I'll put a close up in the model number up here. But I'm not sure exactly what it is. Opti, I guess? An Opti sound card. It does not look like it has a genuine Opel on here, from what I can tell. QDSP. It's just maybe, you know, a generic OEM sound card that was shipped with computers. Doesn't look super exciting, but I'm intrigued to try it out, and it's always fun to see what cards like this sound like. And they might be a really good fit for, you know, many different DOS machines. Got an IDE port here that is not populated, so that's not being used, but hey, neat card nonetheless, so we'll check that out. The last card we have is kind of a doozy here. This is a long card, it is long. This is not a Sound Blaster AW32, but a Sound Blaster 32, so a PNP, model number CT3670. And as I understand, this is basically like not a cost cut measure, but it's like a Sound Blaster AW32 based on AW64, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a condensed format, later revision Sound Blaster 32 plug and play. But it was not that expensive, so I had to grab that as well. It uses, what I understand, standard memory modules instead of proprietary ones, so this will be a neat card to check out. Think of this as kind of like a hybrid between a Sound Blaster 32 or a Sound Blaster AW32 and a 64, based on mostly on the AW64. So this is not an original Sound Blaster AW32, but still, it's a nice sound card. It was not that expensive, and you know, you can't go wrong with these cards, so I had to nab that as well when I saw it. Those are the kind of things that you can find there. Not everything is super rare or super unique, but this is still a neat card and it will get used. Next, I picked up a processor, which if you watched the video from last year, you might recognize this kind of processor. This is another Athlon Slot A processor, and it looks like this one is a 900 megahertz, I believe. So the board I picked up from last year at VCF, most of the stuff was untested, and that's fair. You know, they were coming from recyclers. And in this case, I'm not sure, it won't boot, so I'm not sure if it's a processor or not, so for a few bucks I picked up a secondary processor. I've been eyeing one on eBay, but I haven't got around to it. So here, it was for not that expensive, so I grabbed that as well, so I can test the other motherboard and see if it boots with this processor, and then I know if it's the motherboard or the processor, basically, because it gets to the BIOS screen and then just hangs, so something's wrong. And this is a great opportunity to pick up, especially this is actually faster, so that might make a quite nice machine when all is said and done. And, all right, we're getting into some random stuff here now, small stuff. We're almost at the end, believe it or not already. This is a whole bunch of drive rails that Ron from Ron's Computer Lab gave me, so thank you very much, Ron. He basically said as I'm getting into retro Macs, as you guys saw in my last video, I picked up a stack of Macs, and most of them work. But as he said, if I'm getting into this, I'm going to need these drive trays. These things are very brittle plastic, something about the Macs from that era. And they're all going to snap and explode and all the horrible malarkey. So having these spares is a really good thing, and thank you, Ron, because I'm sure I'll get good use out of them. And speaking of Mac, another thing that I thought was really fascinating to pick up, which I think is really interesting, the fact you can find stuff like this. Like, you know, here was a 16-port hub for $5 at the end of the event, because at that point, people were like, you know, we don't want to bring this stuff back with us, so, you know, just take it for a few bucks. That's perfect. And why would I need a hub, you say? Because, I mean, a hub, for those not familiar, sends all the signals on all the ports all the time. So you have collision, things like that. A switch automatically, smartly switches between the different ports and the activity. But this is all congestion prone, and, you know, it's not great for true networks. However, here we go. It has a BNC connector, so you can use the coax connectors. And that allows me to network some of the old Macs I have and stuff like that, because they do have this connector. So basically allows me to plug this into my retro network and then bridge it with this BNC connector, so I can actually hook those machines up there as well. And that's the reason I bought this for a few bucks. Now, this is overkill. I don't need 16 ports. I'm not going to use these at all, the hubs really, or the hub ports. But having this available, if this thing works, I don't know, was well worth the $5. And it's very sturdy and very heavy. It's actual metal, so it's a nice design. All right, we are going to go to something else a little more interesting or a little different. So this is a Blue SCSI adapter for Macintoshes. Thank you very much for that. That was a great opportunity to get that. I bought this from Tom, who assembled it there as well on site, I believe, or maybe before the event. But this is a fully assembled Blue SCSI, and for those not familiar, it is basically a hard drive adapter for classic Macintoshes. You put a hard drive image on the SD card, which I don't have in here at the moment, and then mounts into the Mac. And then you now have a replacement for your most likely dead or dying old SCSI hard drive that was in your Mac to begin with. So this is a great modern option, and it comes with a drive cage to mount and everything. See a nice blue SCSI logo here. Put a close up on that because it is a gorgeous logo and a gorgeous board. And I also grabbed something else that they offered, which is the over EC2 adapter, which lets you plug this in like so. And now you can use this externally, because for those not familiar with the SCSI bus and everything on the Macs, you basically can connect an external drive and it acts like the same as an internal one. They're just on the SCSI bus. So I am not a SCSI expert, I haven't messed with it much, but that's the way I understand it. So this lets you plug this in externally and basically have connectivity the same way. So this is a great product to have on hand for getting, a hard drive option, a modern hard drive option for your old Macs. So great to pick that up in person. It was awesome to talk to everyone who worked on it. Awesome. Yeah, thanks Eric and thanks Tom for this. Eric is definitely one of the people to keep an eye out for this product and everything. I'll put some links in the description to their site and everything where they sell this. But it is a great product. Next I have a bit of an odd one. I gotta go get it. This is a big one. I didn't have it in the first shot, but this is out of frame. This is a Dell Boy. I'll put in a picture here, but so you can see it separately. This is a Dell 2007 FPB whatever monitor. The cool thing with this monitor is that it is very universal. It can synchronize down to 15 kilohertz, so it supports Amigas, Commodore 64 and everything. The reason for that, if I can get a shot here of it, is that it has all these ports. So you can see it has S-video, it's got composite, all that stuff input here, and it gives you a lot of flexibility, which makes this a very good utility monitor. The fact that it can synchronize to 15 kilohertz means that all your old computers from the 90s or whatever worked just fine. And this was also being sold out at the end of the event for just a few bucks. Now, it didn't come with a stand, so I'll have to figure that out, but I've always wanted one of these for the utility purpose. The Mister is great on this as well. This is a great monitor to have on hand because it worked with so many things. So, excuse me, I'm excited to pick that up finally. That will come in handy. And the last thing, let's see if I can fit this on the table now. Stacking cards, moving stuff around. This is the retro life that we chose. We have to move things around to fit other stuff that's newer. So, this is a Acer Acros. Couple things with this computer. We will make an actual video where we go through this computer fully. It is not booting right now. I think the power supply is basically shot. So that is an issue we have to deal with. Otherwise, I just love the design. And this is from a booth where they were selling out random beige boxes, whatever, but this Acer caught my eye because it just has a really cool design. This is a 486. I'm pretty sure there is a probably SX processor in here, nothing exciting, so there are some options for expanding it. But it's really in nice condition, and it's got some nifty features, and the plastic is in really good condition too, and it looks, very nice. You can change out the feet so they can stay on the side. There's basically the whole thing comes apart, but we'll do a full video on this. But it's a really neat machine, and it just caught my eye to have kind of like a mid-range 486, DOS machine or whatever, early Windows machine, and it just looked really neat. It's an AT style or whatever, so to give you an idea, but socket 3, I'm pretty sure. But a really nice 46. We may look at upgrading it, making it a faster machine, but again, we'll cover it in a later video probably, but it looks so neat. So that's the last thing I picked up from VCF Midwest, besides all the stickers and everything I picked up from all my fellow YouTubers. So we'll look at those in a second here, but really neat machine, a lot of cool pickups. I'm pretty happy with the haul this time. I tried to contain myself a little bit and not just go overboard and grab everything in sight. So this is a nice little spread of things. I'm pretty happy with that pickup. So let's kind of sum this up. Now, sitting here in this stash of treasures, junk, whatever you want to call it, the event was awesome. And I think really the biggest thing was just meeting all the cool people there. I saw a lot of people, showing off stuff, but above all, I made some pretty good friends there too. And some of the repeat customers from last year, and I grabbed a whole bunch of stickers. I'm going to forget to mention people, so I apologize for that. But if you have any chance to go to VCF Midwest, I highly encourage it. The event is really cool. There's a ton of stuff to see, and it's just almost like a nerd heaven in that sense. If you like retro computers and that kind of era, but your 80s all the way up to semi-modern age, there's a little bit for everyone. And I can't possibly cover the entire event. There's several other good videos. I'll link several good videos below, sorry, not behind. below. But I just want to shout out a few people and everything. So we have Eric's Edge, great guy, met him. Garth Beagle, great guy, met him. Check out their channels, I'll link to the bottom. We of course have the Blue Scussy group here. Check out their stuff. We have Geekenspiel, or Steve Cooper, which he creates little badges and stuff like that you can buy. So check out his website, I'll link that as well. Really good stuff. We have Retrotech Chris, as always, nice friend. Made some new friends at Taylor and Amy Show. Definitely check out their channel, up and coming channel, which will take off. Really neat ladies. And then I met Jeremy from Jeremy's Retro Bar. Nice to meet you as well, although we didn't get the chance to talk much. Ran to the Girl Geek, which is, she had a Casio Loopy set up, plus a whole bunch of like MIDI tower stuff, which is awesome. A couple more people I don't think I ran into, but Joe's Computer Museum, I'll definitely talk to him online. Check out his stuff. And then Sean wasn't able to make it from Geek with Social Skills on there, but I give a shout out to his awesome channel too. I'll link that below. There's just so much to do and see at VCF Midwest. Again, if you have any chance to go, highly encourage it. However you can get there, just get there. If next year is going to be like this year, there's going to be just a ton of stuff to see, a ton of stuff to pick up or buy, and a lot of cool people to meet. So really highly recommend going if you, at any way, shape, or form can go. This is the one to go to. I'm looking forward to checking out the other VCF events as well, but the Midwest one was just ridiculous this year. Thanks so much, truly. The organizers that put on such a fantastic show with a lot of cool presentations, gear to buy, and so many cool people to see. So I just had a blast, and I can't wait for next year again. I will be driving again, I hope, next year, so I can pick up even more stuff. Flying is not... If you can drive, do it. You may not want to go as crazy as some people did. Just realized I'm not have any stickers there for Mac 84, or Steve, of course. Steve has been a great resource for me for learning Mac stuff, so definitely check out his channel as well. So anyway, this is a fun event. Just go. That's all I can say. Just go if you can. Thanks so much for checking out this video with all this stuff. And all this stuff now will get used, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed, I can actually use some of the stuff I used last year. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out the one I did for my pickups from last year's event. Otherwise, I cover a wide range of retro topics on the channel. You can find me on my website, on social media, or catch me live at 8:45 p.m. Central on Thursdays. Until next time.